Hello guys, hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're in the festive spirit and I hope you're going to join me on the Christmas journey of reviewing one of my favourite ever books of this season. I hope you got your tea ready and I got your favourite snacks ready, and I hope you come along with this ride with me in exploring this not so typical Christmas book. The book I'll be exploring with you guys today is The Self-Esteem Workbook by Anna Burns. This book is aimed at building your own self-esteem with this step-by-step workbook. Healthy self-esteem is key to having a good sense of well-being. It allows us to move through confidence. The key importance are tips on how to boost your self-esteem, exercises focused on helping with your own self-esteem, and information on how to get support. What is the meaning of self-esteem? Well, the meaning of self-esteem is confidence in one's own worth or abilities or self-respect. How to use the workbook. You need to focus on your flaws. You need to compare yourself to other people. You need to feel like you're not good enough. You need to tolerate bad treatment from people around you. You need to get rid of all these thoughts and then change it instantly. And you need to then think of how to love yourself and take action how to improve your self-esteem. These pages will advise you and give you practical exercises and useful tips on self-esteem. For example, I dealt with my own issues of self-esteem throughout my life. I started doubting my own self-image, through my body image, through my looks, how I perceive myself by other people in around me, my family and friends. I also dealt with self-esteem by self-comparison, me being afraid of not looking like people around me in society. But I come to realize that it's more not about how people perceive you, it's more about how you perceive yourself as a person. And as you grow and mature, you come to realize that you need to be your own best friend and you need to be the one to boost your own self-esteem and self-worth and self-love. And I find that really hard because there's times when I used to speak to my family members, such as my mum, and I used to question her, saying, "Oh, do I look pretty enough? Do I look beautiful enough? Am I enough in terms of how I appear to be by society?" And she said, "You are enough. You're beautiful in your own way." And it took so long for people around me to see that within me, that I am beautiful and I'm worthy and I'm confident and I'm strong and I'm courageous and I have all those abilities, to see those qualities inside of me. But my self-esteem, I always had bad self-esteem from where I was at school, secondary school. So from primary to secondary school to university and up to now in the working world, I'm still at the moment trying to build my self-esteem, but as I'm getting older, my confidence is improving more. I'm learning how to embrace myself, and this book teaches you how to build a foundation of how to understand yourself, your flaws, and why you're thinking the way you do about yourself, and get into the root cause of why you may have low self-esteem and how to build good self-esteem about yourself in this world, because this world can be a tricky place which people can doubt you and tell you that you're not worthy enough and that you need to work on your appearance and you need to work on how you perceive yourself to look like others, when it's not about looking like others. Everyone is unique in their own way, and you have to remember that everyone is unique, and you can't be like the person that you see in the magazines or on TVs that you watch. Everyone has their own unique way, and you have to always remind yourself that you are you, and that makes you unique and different from everyone. Because in the past, for example, my self-esteem has been inflicted upon by my bullying experiences that I experienced throughout my secondary school years and my primary school years as well, like how I perceive myself by others. People used to complain that I was too skinny, that I wasn't that people that look at me because of the rumors they spread about me. But I come to realize that I'm more than the words than what people say about me. When I got to uni, it was an instantly different story. Uni wasn't like secondary school, sixth form or primary school. It was a new place, a new fresh start, a new you. So instantly when you go in, you make new friends. People don't perceive you that way. People is unique. You join societies and everyone gets to know you, and you blend in based on your interests and your hobbies and what you love to do, and based on the course that you're doing at uni. So I thought that uni was almost the starting point of me of like embracing my inner confidence and embracing who I am as a person. And that takes a lot of courage and that takes a lot of practice and time. And I think now there's times I'm still dealing with low self-esteem and I'm still dealing with still dealing with times when I do doubt myself, but it's all about self-love. And the one thing that important to mention is that we live in a society which is based on desirability, how you're desired by men, and based on your own sexuality, how you're desired by the opposite sex or the same sex or whatever. But you have to also remember that it's based on what you desire, and it's based on what you love about yourself inside. And I think as a woman, you have a constant need to compare yourself to other women out there in society, and you need to also understand as well that you don't need to meet the standards of a man all the time. It's about your own standards as well, and you don't always need to meet the standards of their criteria, what they're looking for. It's all about you and what you want within yourself. If you think you are good looking and if you think you are enough, and that's all that matters. Once you start to believe those qualities, people will see that right through you, and you don't have to worry about comparing yourself to other people, and eventually it will grow and grow and grow, and that self-love will travel through you. You'll begin to love yourself, because I promise you, I dealt with the feeling of comparing myself to other guys out there in the world. I felt like I wasn't good looking enough. I felt like I wasn't attractive enough to society, and eventually I had to say to myself, okay, well, this is me, and this is who I am, and I have to love myself, and this is who I am as a person. And by reading this book, I come to realize that actually I love myself, and I love who I am, and I'm proud of myself. And it's all, some of it is going back to childhood and remembering who you are as a person, because I had to go back to childhood. As a child, I had to embrace my inner child. For example, I remember being a child and having huge, immense confidence, not caring about what people think, dancing around the house, enjoying myself whatsoever, dancing to my favourite Beyonce music as a young toddler. That was me. That was my inner child. That was someone who didn't care about what people think. That was someone who embraced her inner self and who really loved who they are as a person. And I now want to go back to that. And I feel like I'm slowly going back to being that confident me, being someone who's not afraid to talk and who's not afraid to tell people about my day, which I used to do as a child. I used to come in instantly from school, tell my mum about all the subjects that I'm doing at school and what I learnt from them, because I love school and I generally loved it with all my heart. And I wasn't afraid. I come to think that, like, in my personality, I was very timid and very shy and not reserved. But as I got older, I come to realise that actually there's nothing wrong with being someone who loves talking, because I knew what I wanted to be from a young child. I knew what I wanted to be. That's why I used to love to talk, and that was like my gift, and that was what I'm passionate about. used to love talking about topics that I'm very passionate about and what I believe in. That's why I used to love reading books and love writing, and I love reading books because books is escapism, books is form to expand my intellect, books is form of expressing myself. And that's partly why I studied what I studied at university as well. But also to say, like, by telling people about my day, it made my mum happy and made myself happy. And I'm hoping as I tell you about this book will almost expand your own confidence and your own self-worth and in understanding yourself. And I hope I can teach you, anyone out there who's suffering with low self-esteem and who's feeling that they're not worthy to society and who find it very difficult to not understand themselves, and to know that you are loved and you are enough, and society needs a different society, needs a unique people to stand out from the rest. It's not about fitting in, it's about standing out. For example, I'll be reading from page 13, and page 13 is called Self-Esteem and You. Enhancing self-esteem should be simple, right? We get promoted at work, we start a new relationship with someone exciting, or we pass an exam at college. But it's so simple to increase our own self-esteem. Why do so many of us have low self-esteem, some or even all the time? If this thought resonates with you, then you picked up the right book. The best place to start your journey to greater self-esteem is by looking at the relationship you have with yourself. After all, the knowledge that it's okay to be you lies at the heart of healthy self-esteem. And if you truly believe that you are great exactly on your art as you are, your confidence and your self-esteem will blossom. Sometimes, though, it's hard to be objective about yourself, particularly if you give this too much headspace, too critical self-talk. However, becoming comfortable with who you are and what you're all about is the first step on the road to healthy self-esteem. In this section, we'll be explaining what self-esteem is, what causes low self-esteem, and how we can work towards a more balanced view of ourselves. Because sometimes reading this paragraph, you can understand that in journey to self-esteem, you can uncover that you can be very self-critical of yourself, and you need to understand that in the journey in order to love yourself, you need to stop criticizing your flaws, you need to start embracing your flaws and who you are as a person. On the next page, page 15, there's an exercise, and this exercise asks you these two key questions. Which three words best describes me? When and where am I the happiest version of myself? What are my greatest attributes? What are my best weaknesses? How do I measure success? What would I like to be remembered for? What am I afraid of? What single piece of advice would I give you, a younger version of myself? What single piece of advice would I give my future self? I can't live without. And I'd like you to try these exercises in your journal as well. And I'm gonna repeat them again so you can write them down. Which three words best describes me? When and where I'm the happiest version of myself? What are my greatest attributes? What are my biggest weaknesses? How do I measure success? What would I like to be remembered for? What am I afraid of? What single piece of advice would I give a younger version of myself? What single piece of advice would I give my future self? I can't live without. And I hope by you doing these exercises will uncover your strengths and weaknesses, and understand yourself and what you can work on in improving your self-esteem. What does high self-esteem look like? Well, taking pride in your achievements, being able to make decisions and assert yourself, having confidence to try new and difficult things, taking time out for self-care, being kind to yourself physically and mentally, moving on when things go wrong without blaming yourself, believing no matter you're good enough, liking and valuing yourself as a person, for knowing you are valued, recognizing and celebrating your strengths, understanding your weaknesses, feeling comfortable in your own company. You have to remember as well that your weaknesses can become your strength, and that and when you see that, weaknesses won't become failure to you whatsoever, because weaknesses will become something that is your anchor and that will make you stronger, and something that you can work on, and that can be a journey to really improving your self-esteem and once and for all loving yourself. What does low self-esteem look like? Well, negative thinking, ignoring and disconnecting strengths, talents, positive qualities, focusing on flaws, weaknesses and mistakes, finding it difficult to move on when you make a mistake, blaming yourself when something goes wrong, being overly self-critical, feeling worthless and questioning why people like and love you, not taking care of yourself physically and mentally, comparing yourself unfavorably to others, spending time with people who don't have your best interests at heart, worrying about what other people think of you, being easily influenced and going along with the crowd, worrying about how you look and act, looking for reassurance from others. These are all low vibration self-esteem, and this is not really good when looking at it. When looking at it, you can understand this is what all of us think about ourselves, and this is how we view ourselves. But on the under page that I mentioned on page 15 is the positive attributes of self-esteem. And there's also another quiz that you can take, and this quiz is really fun in this book, as you can see. It says, take this quiz to get an idea of how high and how low your self-esteem is right now. Circle the answers that sounds most like you. Number 1, I believe I'm good at. A, plenty of things. B, nothing at all really. C, 1 or 2 things. Number 2, when I compare myself to others, I feel like A, I'm a good person, and so are they. B, I'm definitely worse than them. C, I'm better than them. 3, to me, perfection is A, not a real thing. B, a necessity, so I won't be liked. C, something I never quite achieve, but I can't just about live without it. Number 4, if I make a mistake, I A, try to put it right, learn from it and move on. B, look for someone else to blame and refuse to let it go. C, feel awful and but put it right and chalk it up to experience and move on. 5, my friends, A, are fun, kind, great to be around. B, frequently put me down, but at least they talk to me. C, are okay. I'm closer to some than others. Number 6, when I do well, A, I feel proud of myself and want to share it with others. B, I think I should have done better and annoyed at myself. C, I feel embarrassed to talk about it, but it will share my success if I encourage. 7, say no is sometimes tricky, but I will assert myself if I feel my needs are more important. B, unkind, what if people decide they don't like me as I'm a result? C, something I try to avoid, but I do assert myself occasionally. So by answering this quiz in this book, you see all of this. And if you answer mostly A, mostly B's and mostly C, it will tell you what type of self-esteem you have. And with this, you can work on what you need to work on to improve your self-esteem in this book. So they'll call it checking in on yourself. This is important in self-esteem, checking in on yourself. And what does high self-esteem look like to me? What influences self-esteem? So checking in on yourself is like, I feel my body feels cold. I feel calm. I feel happy. I'm thinking a lot of things. I'm smart. I feel like it's making me feel bad for doing this. Why I'm doing this. I feel I can forgive myself for doing this to this person. I'm excited to go on this journey. I'm excited to go on holiday. I'm excited to go to school tomorrow. I'm excited to learn about this particular subject. So checking yourself is understanding emotions and being tuned into your emotions and understanding how you're feeling at present with your emotions. Also looking through here, you can also find stuff like getting all the feels. So on the scale of 1 to 10, how you feeling? This book will take you on a journey of understanding how you feel on the scale of 1 to 10, and how you can unravel those emotions, and how you can really dig deep into why you're feeling the way you do. Banishing the bad feels, getting rid of all the thoughts that you tell yourself every single day of why your self-esteem is very low. And also they give you meditation and relaxation techniques that can teach you how to conquer and teach you how to understand those self-esteem issues that you have, because meditation is very good for when you have low self-esteem. It can teach you how to be very calm and be present with your emotions and be present with your environment around you as well. Also, this book goes through other stuff as well. It's not just about self-esteem and unraveling your thoughts, your emotions. It's about understanding your mental, your physical, and physical, and practical health as well. Your mental is understanding your emotions. Your physical health is food, diet, sleep, exercise, your work life, your social life, and your hobbies. Mental, social is understanding how others perceive you in your self-esteem journey as well. It's also important to understand, since it's coming up to Christmas, is spending time with other people is very important, and also to embrace spending time with family, because the more you spend time with family and friends, the more you begin to heal as a person. And not just talking about your own situation and what you're going through, but talking about everyday things that happen in everyday life, from your favorite shows to your favorite books that you read, to your favorite hobbies, to your favorite anything that interests you in life, to your friends and family members. Because I find from personal experience, by talking about your issue quite a lot repetitively can push people away and can alienate them. And it's not a nice feeling being alienated and made to feel being alone all the time. And that's what hurts the most, is like the more you talk about your issue and the more you repeat it. And also because I've been dealing with my own mental health as well, mental health at the same time, I find that my mum has to tell me that what your inner voices are telling you are not real, and that you're in your big head, there's a lot going on. Your head may seem small, but in your big head there's a lot of stuff happening, and you have to remember what is real and not what is not real. And that in the present moment, your family and the people and the world that you're in does exist, and you have to control this reality that you live in. Because if you think too much in your head and not out of your head, things can get really out of hand, and you can feel trapped and you can feel really alone. So you have to understand that the world is more bigger than the thoughts that you have, and you are more bigger than the thoughts that you are thinking. So I hope by reading this book will enable you to understand and unravel why you may be thinking the thoughts you may be thinking about your self-esteem. And I'm hoping from this, it also will teach me how to understand myself as a person and understand why I may be constantly being stuck in these mental thoughts and not understanding myself as a person. Because as you go on your journey with your mental health, you begin to understand that your family have your best interests at heart, and that as there's a saying, your mum is always right in the end. Your mum always thinks like how any other mum does, and your mum understands you more than you understand yourself. And that's from my personal experiences with me and my mum's relationship, that my mum understands me, and she understands that it's the stuff that you're telling yourself in your head half the time. Some of it is not real, and it's all what you're thinking about yourself is a reflection of the reality of that you live in. The more you think positive, it more project out into positive reality of what you're thinking about yourself and in the world that you live in. Because there's so much positives to the world and to life, and then the negatives, and the more you see that, the more you start to enjoy life. Because I feel like the world is your oyster, and the more you improve your self-esteem, the more opportunities be out there for you. And I hope this video inspires you and makes you think that, well, yes, for once in my life, I do feel confident, and I want to do this and I want to do that with my life, and I want to travel to this place and I'll go to this country. I want to be this, I want to be that. Because I feel like the world is your oyster for anyone out there in the world. And I hope by reading this book, you will start to think that, yes, I finally understand myself. I understand who I am as a person, and I don't need those words that people say to me, and those thoughts that I'm thinking doesn't define me. I control those thoughts, and those thoughts do define me, because I'm being positive, and I have the power over power over that person, and I have a power over what I'm thinking in those thoughts. Coming from my own experience, I find that my escapism from all those thoughts was reading books, and that became my strength, and that became my power to overcome what I was thinking about, my own negative thoughts. So I hope coming up to this festive season that you purchase this book. I hope you read this book and do the activities, because this activities was recommended to me by one of my best and closest friends ever in the entire world. She has helped me through the most difficult times of my life, and she recommended me this book. So I hope coming up to Christmas that you purchase this book, and I hope starting as part of your New Year's resolution, as one of your New Year's resolutions, you can focus on improving your own self-esteem and your own journey on to become successful in the future and in 2024. So bye guys, and thank you for watching my video. Bye.